Well, Grant, a 0-0 draw, 7-6 on penalties, and let's focus on those penalties. What a shootout that was.
I thought the stands were unbelievable, weren't they, from both teams? I ain't taking any credit for the penalties because we didn't work on them. That's a fact, we didn't work on them. We did for the Northampton game and we lost on penalties. So, listen, penalties is all about on the day, fancying it. There was no set routine who was taking them. The players put themselves forward. They showed that character that they're willing to take them. Tough has only scared me with his little shimmy, but you know, he's rifled it in the top corner. So it was, listen, we come here, we've got the job done. We looked a little bit lethargic. We haven't got the luxury, to be honest, of what Luton have got. I mean, they've got a huge squad, haven't they? They can afford to change 7 or 8 players. We haven't. We're quite, you know, low, and that was one thing I wanted to do this season. That has got us into the next round. You know, keeping the nucleus of the squad together. Some of the boys that come off the bench really done well. You know, Idris and Jermaine and Michael Doherty. You know, so we have got strength and depth, but we haven't got bundles of players that we can change 9, 10 players.
Yeah, Luton made 10 changes. Some people will see that 0-0 against a team league below that made 10 changes, but they have got great strength and depth in their squad. Well,
it just shows you that it doesn't really matter who we were playing against tonight. We were always going to be a little bit lethargic, you know, in terms of the work and the effort the boys put in, you know, at Villa. But to come here, I mean, it wasn't a great game. It was almost like a basketball game at times in the first half. It was like you attack, we attack, you attack, we attack. And I think we were just waiting to see who scored first, and maybe a goal would have sparked the game and sparked us into life. But I just said to the boys, credit to you. You know, when you don't play at your fluent best, when our position at times out of possession is not great, you've dug in. You've kept a clean sheet and you've gone on to win the game. And
I guess had you not got that little bit of luck, maybe you also need in the penalties, and as you say, looking a bit leggy, it would have been extra disappointing, not just to go out, but go out having obviously got to this stage and put some energy, put some effort into it as well.
Yeah, definitely. But I said to the boys there, I said, listen, you know, I've been part of successful teams. Dave Dolefield has, Mark Tyler has, Ben McKenzie, sports scientist, has. And I said to him, trust me when I say this, you can't turn it on and off. You can't think, okay, I fancied at Villa, but I'm not quite sure at Luton. Now, I'm not saying the lads have got that. I'm just saying maybe the mindset is something that I think is changing, definitely. Maybe we didn't have it the early part of the season, but we're changing now. I think the boys realise that, you know, we're 2 games from Wembley. We're 2 points or 1 point, whatever it is, off the playoffs. And we're in the 4th round of the FA Cup. So it's been a tremendous effort from everybody, but we want to keep going.
And you almost won it right at the end. Jermaine Anderson, amazing run into the box, shot, and a brilliant save from their keeper. So we almost didn't need the penalties.
No, it was. To be fair, it was a good save. To be fair, the keeper made a few very good saves from the second half. I mean, a couple of the balls that flashed across Madison's corners and things like that, he managed to push away. So yeah, listen, on a whole, I'm delighted to be in the next round. I'm delighted with the attitude and maybe a wee bit of the desire my players showed to not to play your best, but still to get the job done.
Can I ask you about Jack Marriott, because he looked to be struggling for the last 10-15 minutes, not quite sure what's wrong, seems to be holding his boot quite a lot of the time.
He just got a kick on his foot. It's just a bruised foot, so he'll be fine, Jack. Leo's more worrying because it was his hamstring, so we'll assess Leo over the next couple of days. He's had this problem early part of the season and it didn't keep him out for too long, so I'm hoping we've caught it earlier, you know. And you know, sometimes when you've got that pace that Leo's got, you're always going to be feeling hamstrings at certain times with a little bit of fatigue, but I think we've caught it quite early, hopefully anyway, but I need to check with the physio. And
while we're on team news, obviously Chris Forrester was suspended. Was Stephen Taylor just given a bit of a rest? Nothing suspicious there?
Yeah, Tails is resting. Yeah, I told him I'll see you Thursday, so he's just relaxing. Probably watching results in his hotel or his bedroom tonight. But no, I mean, again, another tremendous shift from the boys. Application was spot on today. We didn't play, like I say to you, you know, I'm always honest, we didn't play to our fluent best. Some passages of the play in the game was good, but other aspects that we still need to get better at, and we'll put it down to a little bit of fatigue to the players today, so they need to rest now for a couple of days, because they've got a massive game again on Saturday.
And maybe we saw this with Liam Shepherd. He's obviously had a bit of an injury. He's coming back, so he's relatively fresh, relatively speaking, and I think we saw that again tonight, didn't we? Another outstanding performance from him.
Yeah, first class from Liam. He's getting better. I think that performance tonight. May have clipped his fellow one. You know, I thought he was outstanding again. Some of his play, some of his general play and composure on the ball, excellent. And you know, listen, it's one of them games where you can come here and Luton are flying in the league and they can make changes, and you can think, oh, they're putting out the reserves. And as a football player, you can go, well, I maybe don't need to do as much as I do, you know, on a normal weekly basis. But credit to the boys today. You know, they dug in. Kept them at bay largely in the second half, maybe one or two little chances they had, but dug in and scored 7 tremendous penalties to win the game.